Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum and welcome, dear students. I hope you are all doing well. So, dear students, as you all know that currently we are in unit number 3, London, which is about the Great Fire that erupted in London on 2nd September 1666 and that destroyed almost 4/5 of the old city of London. So now today we'll start a non-fiction, The Burning of St. Paul's Cathedral, which is a part of unit number 3, London. Dear students, first of all, I would like to tell you about what is non-fiction. A non-fiction is a story or a writing that is based on true events or facts. And now the background of the St. Paul's Cathedral. So it is a cathedral which is an Anglican cathedral in London, United Kingdom. And as the cathedral of the Bishop of London it serves as the mother church of the Diocese of London. Dear students, diocese means a district under the pastoral care of a bishop in the Christian church. And the cathedral sits on Ludgate Hill at the highest point of the city of London and is a Grade 1 listed building. Dear students, Ludgate Hill is a street in the city that runs from St. Paul's Churchyard joining Fleet Street at Ludgate Circus. So now we will proceed to the text. Before the fire, the Cathedral of St. Paul's dominated London, rising clear above other buildings as it stood apart from other houses. The people believed it would be safe from the fire. So dear students, the building of the St. Paul's Cathedral was the highest of the buildings of London and it stood apart from all other houses, so the people who lived there believed that it would be saved from fire. After the fire, it was rebuilt by Sir Christopher Wren and once again it became one of London's most distinctive mean particular landmarks. So dear students, it was again rebuilt by Sir Christopher Wren and it became again one of most distinctive landmarks of London. Now page number 61, the first paragraph. St. Paul's Cathedral, the highest, greatest, most conspicuous means clearly visible, building of all London, stood unharmed whilst it mean while the fire raged mean uncontrollable about it. The booksellers moved their stocks into the crypt mean basement or an underground room, all labelled ready to be collected when the fire had died down mean weak or less strong. A fire could not possibly go underground, they thought, so the livelihoods of many London booksellers would be saved. So dear students, the St. Paul's Cathedral, the highest of all the buildings, stood unharmed until the fire reached it, and the booksellers moved all their stocks to the basement of the cathedral, and they thought that the fire could not possibly go underground, and so the livelihoods of many London booksellers would be saved. But that evening, flames broke out on the cathedral roof. Live brands mean a burning piece of wood carried overhead by the wind had brought the fire to the St. Paul's. The flames were so intense mean extreme, that a young scholar 1 mile away was able to read his book by the light of its flames. The cathedral became a roaring cauldron of fire. Cauldron mean a large metal pot with a lid and a handle. An eyewitness an eyewitness described the molten lead. Molten lead mean melted or liquefied by heat, running down like snow before the sun, and massive mean large stones crashing onto the pavement. Pavement mean the hard surface of a road with the force of an explosion. So dear students, on the same evening, a burning piece of wood that was overheaded by the wind brought the fire to the cathedral roof, and the flames were so extreme that there was a young scholar sitting 1 mile away, and he was reading a book, was able to read his book by the lightning of those flames. The cathedral became a roaring cauldron of fire, and there was an eyewitness, and he described that all the things that were liquefied by the heat running down, that run down like a snow before the sun, and the large stones crashed onto the hard surface of the rods with the force of an explosion. Pieces of stone weighing up to 100 pounds were hurled mean violent through considerable distances. An extent the lead ran out into the streets like a stream, and the pavements glowed with a fiery redness. Fiery redness mean consisting fire, so that neither horse nor man could tread mean walking in a specified way on them. Even the gigantic bells mean the huge bells of the cathedral or a great sized bells of the cathedral, melted, and pieces from the falling roof broke open tombs and their lead coffins. St. Paul's continued burning night and day. The books carefully sealed underground in the cathedral crypt were also burnt and continued to smolder for weeks. Smolder mean burn slowly with smoke but without any flame. So, dear students, there were pieces of stone whose weight was about 100 pounds were violently thrown due to the fire, and the things those were melted. They ran out into the streets like a stream, and the pavement mean the hard surface of the road was glowed with consisting fire. So neither the horses and nor the men could possibly walk on them, and even the the large size bells of the cathedral were also melted, and the pieces that fall from the roof broke the tombs and their lead coffins, and the St. Paul's Cathedral continued burning night and day, and the books that were carefully sealed by the booksellers in the crypt in the basement of the cathedral were also burned, and they continued to burn slowly with flames but without with smoke but without any flame. So dear students, this was the text, and now I will tell you the summary as a whole. Okay, so dear students, before the fire, the cathedral building was the highest building of the London, and it stood apart from all the houses, so that the people believed that it would be safe from the fire. And after the fire, it was rebuilt by Sir Christopher Wren, and it became again one of most particular landmarks of London. And the cathedral stood unharmed until the fire reached them, and all the booksellers moved their stocks into the crypt to the basement of the cathedral, and they thought that the fire could not go underground possibly, and so that the livelihoods of many London booksellers would be saved. But on the same evening, a burning piece of wood that was overheaded by wind brought the fire to the cathedral roof, and the flames were so strong, so extreme, that there was a young scholar 1 mile away, and he was reading a book, was able to read the book with the lightning of those flames. Then there was an eyewitness who described the whole situation as the melted things, the all the things that were liquefied by heat were running down like snow before the sun, and the large stones were crashing onto the hard surface of the road with the force of an explosion. Then there were pieces of stone whose weight was about 100 pounds were violently thrown on an extent, and the lead ran out into the streets like a stream, and the hard surface of the road glowed with the consisting fire, so that neither the horses nor the men could possibly walk on them. And the large bells of the cathedral were also melted, and the tombs were broken, and their lead coffins were also broken. And the St. Paul's Cathedral continued burning day and night, and all the books that were carefully sealed in the basement were also burnt, and they keep on burning for a week without any flame but with smoke. Okay, so dear students, this was your lecture for today. Take care. Allah Hafiz.